Yeah, tough end to this match. Do you want to start with this one or the first one against Alireza?
I mean, there's really not much to be said. I mean, I simply the match against Alireza was a very tough match. Could have gone either way, and kind of unfortunately after that, I just blundered terribly in a couple of these games. Not much more needs to be said. I guess don't want to go too into depth because this is a professional tournament at the end of the day, and there are still games to be played. But basically, in the first game against Magnus, I played a line that I kind of during the game I was just moving too fast and I forgot that it's just bad. I've actually played this line against Bortnik many times, and Bortnik's not Magnus. So in 3-0 Blitz, I've made it work. Anybody can look at the database, of course. I mean, I'm not going to say what I did wrong in the first game because there are games left to be played, but I kind of knew right away, and when I played this position against Bortnik in like Title Tuesday or Arena Kings or Bullet Brawl, I always win. But Magnus is a better player, and yeah, I mean, first game was horrid, just horrible game, and the third game was also kind of the same where, well, actually, second game I mean was very the second game was actually I had chances to win maybe, but I think I was worrying about the clock a little bit too early in the game. Like basically somewhere around this position. Yeah, right here. I mean, like basically I played Bishop C2, which normally I would never play. I would just go like trade the queens and play. At any moment here, like Queen C2, for example, I would have traded the queens, but I didn't think there was enough time. Like if Magnus had a minute or less here, I probably would have traded the queens and kept going. But then, I mean, the big pity is that after knight c5, I mean, I just missed queen e2. I saw queen c4, b5, and I completely missed queen e2. I just
Yep.
didn't see it. I mean, to be fair, Magnus also missed some stuff. He probably could have won this game as well, but I mean, quality of play was pretty bad. I would say that. The second game was pretty bad from both of us. I mean, even the third game was, I mean, again, the move was obviously knight f4 in the opening, and then I played knight e5 for no reason. Like if you just keep going, yeah, like right here. I mean, I knew the move was knight f4, but then for some reason in my head I thought queen d6, and I just forgot that I have knight takes e2. I just forgot that I can take and take c2. So like I knew knight f4 was correct, and then in my mind I was saying, well, why not knight e5? And actually, when I played knight e5, I mean, it sounds really stupid, but I just blundered bishop c4. I thought I could go f6 knight f7. I just blundered bishop c4 altogether. And I mean, I should have just lost this game very cleanly. I don't know if I had a chance for a moment because obviously Magnus misplayed it too. Probably instead of rook d8, there was something better. I don't know if I could have saved it or it's still just bad.
There were some chances. There were
Yeah,
some
right around
chances.
here. Right. Oh, it's bishop f5.
I
It's
think
not knight
bishop
g4.
f5. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But even after knight g4, he allowed you to get back into this one. Like I think here, if you go
No, but I mean, it's never good, is it? Oh, I've got knight e3.
knight a3 was better. Yes.
Bishop e6.
Knight c4, and I guess you get the same sort of
What's the
position.
king takes f4?
Yeah, knight takes.
But I mean, I could have gotten this in the game, right? Or not? Or am I just crazy?
Yes. Yes, 95 is a little bit better, but even
Oh,
here,
no, but wait, I get it with a better version, basically, right?
yeah, you don't lose the pawn on c6.
Ah, so I get a better version. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of typical. I mean, it's kind of typical. Like all Magnus games, he makes blunders somewhere, and magically, it's still just an amazing position for him. But yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's disappointing because I did not play anywhere near my best. I made a couple of terrible blunders in the opening. But I think at the end of the day, basically, in my mind at least, finishing in the top, winning the match against Alireza guaranteed that I'm going to qualify. So I'm not too unhappy. But that first match was very very stressful.
I need to ask
I
you
mean,
about the first.
yeah. Were you
About the
gonna
first
ask
match.
about? Yeah,
I mean,
to win the Armageddon in that fashion with Queen H4 must have been very satisfying, surely.
Yeah, I mean, like, but again, like this is I mean, this is also why like people probably expect me to be really unhappy about this match against Magnus, but I'm not because the match against Alireza could have gone either way. Very easily could have gone either way. So yeah, I mean, I think what I would say about the Alireza game, the Armageddon game, is basically I just started moving really fast at some moment and trying to put pressure on the clock. So I just started moving really fast, and I suspected I was completely busted, but I think this game, this will be something that like literally nobody in chat, unless your name is Wesley So or somebody, will understand. But sort of, I think that, you know, there's a bit of a philosophical difference between the generations, whether it's like Alireza or myself, because he kept playing the same line. And the argument I would say is that Black is fine, if not even better in this Italian line. But it's much harder for Black to play. And then in this final game, it was probably harder to play, but at some point, Alireza was attacking, so his moves became much harder than my moves. So I was able to just move in like a couple of seconds, and then when I move in a couple of seconds, everything kind of like it's on him to prove it, and if he can't prove it, then he's in a lot of trouble. So that was actually really exciting. So yeah,
What's the
what
story
it is.
behind the identical bid? Like,
Yeah,
that
I
was quite
don't know
crazy.
what that was. I mean, Alireza bidding 619, which is kind of bizarre. I mean, I thought I'd just make a random number and I do it, and then somehow he makes the same number, which was really comical.
Did you guys ask ChatGPT was the perfect bid?
No, of course not. Of course
Both
not.
came with 619.
Yeah. No, of course not. But yeah, I think, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, this match was, of course, a very, very, very tough match, very stressful. And unfortunately, I was unable to even recover a little bit before the final match. So yeah, it's disappointing because I wish I could have put up a better fight, but you know, it wasn't meant to be today.
But you continue tomorrow. Do you already know who your opponent is yet to be determined, right?
Yeah, I don't know who I'm going to play. I mean, I think what I would say about this is it's actually interesting because there's a lot more pressure with these matches. Like if this were just a regular CCT match, I don't think it would be. I mean, I definitely would be nowhere near as stressed as I was playing today. But because of the qualifier for the grand final, and really it's kind of up in the air, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot more pressure and a lot at stake, and I think I think the first match was just like it took everything out of me. Took everything out of me. And when people ask why is there so much pressure, I think what I would say about that is that you know, we are all representing orgs, and there's definitely, you know, you want to make it to the grand final at the very least, and nothing is guaranteed. So that's why it's not a laughing matter. Let's put it that way.
Is that one of your main goals for this year, the Esports World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I think what I would say about it is that, you know, one of the things is in my calendar for this year, there are a lot of question marks. So I've said it before. One of the big question marks is, you know, you want to make sure you get to the finals of the Esports World Cup. Like, you don't want it to be hanging over you where you don't know if you're going to have to go ahead of time, play that last chance qualifier. Like, it's good to know that you're going to make it. And like that's like, it's very good because I think at least with a guaranteed third, let's say I finish second, maybe even I can come back and beat Magnus in a final potentially. Is that I think it's almost impossible that I'm not going to be in the top 12. So that sort of takes a lot of the pressure off, I think, as far as it relates to like the matches tomorrow, or even playing the next event, which is a good thing. And at least now I think mostly I know what my schedule is going to be like, which is good. But I would also say it's, you know, the other big question mark is Norway chess. I've said a few times, if I don't play so well there, it's going to have a big impact on whether I play in the Grand Swiss tournament or I just don't try really to qualify for the candidates. I just take my shot on the World Cup and go from there. So there still are some question marks, but at least with the result today, one of the big question marks I think is out of the equation. I know it's going to happen. So I'm pretty happy about that.
And you're most likely going to be meeting one of the four in the losers, let's say, bracket finals, Arjun, Nepo, Alireza, or Duda. Do you have any preference on who would you like to meet?
I mean, honestly, I'd like to play Alireza, and I think the reason I'd like to play Alireza more than anyone else is in this format, I think that outside of Magnus, he's the only other player. I mean, I should be careful what I say here because someone's going to take this out of context, but I feel like he's the player. He's one of the only players who can beat me in this format besides Magnus. And I kind of really want the challenge now that I know that I'm going to make the final. I want the challenge. I think that I'll enjoy that. I'll enjoy that more than playing the others because, again, as I said before, and actually, you know, I want to point one thing out, which is I think the game I played against Alireza, the second game of the match, which he won brilliantly. I think that if I have that game, even though I'm worse based on time situation, I think if I have that against anybody other than Alireza or Magnus in this specific event, I think I win the second game with Black. Even though it's much better for White, I think I would win this game against anybody except Alireza and maybe Magnus. And then he just outplayed me systematically. And I feel like if I got this position against Duda or Nepo or someone, I think I would actually win this game. So that's why it would be fun to it would be fun to have the challenge and play against Alireza. Because as I said, at this point, I think it's pretty guaranteed that I'm going to qualify. So based off of that, I'd really like the chance to I'd really like the chance to play against him.
And this has obviously
What?
been a matchup that a lot of people are looking up to. Yourself against Alireza. Do you feel that no increment gives you the advantage, or how do you feel about this
I
particular
mean,
situation?
it's what I said before. I mean, I think honestly, if I don't blunder early in the games and I get down to the scrambles, I mean, I think Magnus and Alireza are the only two people of the 16 players in this specific event, at least, who can probably keep up with me and or beat me on the clock. So I think this format is obviously preferable for me. I think if you look at my matches, like the match against Grishuk, for example, that could have gone the other way if there were increment. So I like my chances, but definitely for tomorrow, I want the challenge. I want the challenge. And I
What's
mean,
your
I hope that
plan?
I can win because I definitely can do better than I did today against Magnus. I mean, I've obviously lost many times to him, but this was really poor, really poor.
What's your plan for tomorrow while the four of them battle it out? Will you be watching them? Will you be playing some warm-up games? What's your
So I don't really have a routine set. I think probably what I'll do is try to study a little bit of chess. You know, I think another thing that a lot of people probably don't realize is that, I mean, I haven't basically studied chess, you know, like regular theory in a very long time prior to this event. So like when I started studying before was it yesterday or the day before, I forget when it was, like it's the first time that I literally studied chess, and many months. I'm not even sure. Maybe I looked at a little bit before the World Rapid and Blitz, but it's the first time that I actually was looking at like real chess in a very long time. So I'll probably try to look a little bit more, try to catch up on some of the theory, and try to not lose my mind in the opening at least. But yeah, it's what it is.
Well, Hikaru, you just mentioned these matches are extremely taxing in terms of energy. We'll let you go, do your recap.
I mean,
And
I
if
think, like I said, I mean, you know, I think normally this would not be taxing. It would not be taxing, but you want to actually make
It's the
sure that
pressure.
you qualify for the finals. And for the people who say do prep, I mean, I'm still a full-time streamer. That is my main job. I mean, that being said, I'll add one last caveat, which is that I'm not sure what the future holds. I will say that I am coming to the end of my current contract with Kick. I'm not sure if it's going to be renewed or not. But that could play a big role in terms of what the future looks like as far as tournaments go and everything else. So obviously I'll do a little bit of preparation, and definitely before the event in August, I'll be ready for that for sure.
Any final words towards your new fans from Team Falcon?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they've enjoyed the show. I think it's been really exciting, regardless of the result. I think that when you look at chess, if you want it to be exciting, you need games like the games I had against Alireza or the time scramble against Magnus in the second game. So I think that it's got to be fun to watch. I hope they're enjoying it at the very least. I mean, I think chess is definitely difficult to follow if you're not even really a casual player perhaps, or you're a beginner. But at any rate, I hope they've enjoyed it, and you know, I think the future looks very bright. And I'm just looking forward to making the finals. You know, and trying to take down Magnus.
Hikaru, that's all from us. Thank you so much for coming on. I guess your recap will be up shortly, so people should
Yeah,
go
I'll do what
and
I
check
can.
it out.
Yeah, I'll do what I can, but it's disappointing because I mean, I think I'm probably going to focus much more on the Alireza match because yeah, this match against Magnus was really bad. But yeah, so be it.
Oh, hopefully you get another shot a couple of days from now. Thank you for your time. And yeah, I think I'll let you sign off the
Yeah.
show.
Okay. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy the show. I'm gonna go do a recap. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm thinking that I'll probably join you guys on the broadcast for some portion, and then I mean, I assume they play a bunch of matches, and then I'm after that. So I'll probably join, see everybody tomorrow, and go from there. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon. Have a good one.